Go ahead, Bayan.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
We the GMS New Orleans here with GMS Bay St. Louis for joint camp. Prior to get started, we're going to give infinite honors and prayers unto
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash.
double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us the truth, peace, and salutations. To the hopefully like you, Akim, you, Akwat, brothers and sisters in Hebrew that believe in Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, and again, joint camp, Bay St. Louis, New Orleans, and through the spirit, we just had a Jake, who looked like he's now about to go and ask the main camp, a crazy question, about the Mongoloids, what was it, the Negroids, and the Caucasoids. All right, that really just came out of left field, before the camp even started. Okay, but again, none of that's in the scriptures, man. Okay, you know about the 18 nations, and mainly the scriptures is about, just Israel. That's it. Of all the nations, the nation of Israel. Okay, so the Mongoloids and all that other shit, it just doesn't really fucking matter.
Let me say this, because when you ask Jake, where is that in the Bible, or how does that come about? It's crickets. It's nothing to say. It's just a belief, that these people have out here, all right? And that's why they tell you, get it in 2 Timothy. You got something? Go ahead, bring it out.
This is 1 Timothy 6 and verse
That's it, man.
6
That's
and
it.
verse 20. It says, "O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust." And that's the truth. It's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Like the brother said, that's 18 nations within the scriptures, man. And we could go throughout the scriptures and verify who those nations are through prophecy and history too, man.
Right.
And it says, avoid profane and vain babblings. That's what that guy was doing, man. Just running his mouth about Asiatic or whatever, Mongoloidism, men, Caucasoid. That's all bullshit rhetoric, man.
I want to say this because Jake act like, they coming up here sincere. That wasn't sincere.
Right.
You could check his posture. You could check the way his tone.
Yeah.
All right, that was a loaded question. Right? And you just gotta be careful and watch out for guys like that. All right, that wasn't sincere, man. Jake has proclaimed now he's a self-proclaimed theologist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he just has theories. There's no substance behind his theories, though.
Right.
But go ahead,
Right,
you got it, Bayan.
This is and oppositions, because that's what he is. He's an op, man. He's contrary to the truth, right? And he says of science, falsely so called, and that's where he gets it from, right? Esau's wisdom, science, to know. Okay, it's you're not there when a guy does the studies. How do you know? How do you even know he's recording all the things that he says he's recording? You don't. Okay.
What the scriptures say, the Lord's going to destroy the wise, teaming, man.
Right.
The wise man ought to eat them, man. All right, so your philosophies, your ways, your dogma, that's all being revealed to be nothing, man. Holds no weight, holds no power, man. You know what I'm saying? But see, Jake is the one that put season on that, man. Jake's the one that actually make it mean something, man. That's why the scriptures also say, if a man thinking himself to be something, he's nothing, man. That's not going to get you saved. Worrying about skulls. You worrying about motherfuckers that's dead. They already dead. That ain't benefiting you nothing, man.
But
You got it,
I
bro.
can add to you real quick. I got that precept for you too. But that's what Jacob believed though.
Right.
Jacob believed shit like that. And then they'll come to us and say, oh, well, the so-called white man wrote that book. And you don't believe in the scriptures.
Right.
No, the scriptures was written by the men of the Lord. All right. When he gave the spirit to Rakakwadash, all right, and caused these things to be written in the paper. All right. Jacob go and believe shit like Yakub. All right. A nigga with a big ass head, man. That's what Jake what Jake is fixed on. These different things that they stay fascinated by. All right. And that's all it's about, fascination. You see, the scriptures are simple. That's why Jake don't want to deal with the scriptures, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm about to say this too, because Jake went over there and went fuck with the main camp, but he about to get what he looking for.
Yeah.
All right. He don't even know you going to deal with well-versed men that been in the truth for damn near 2 decades, man. And he dealing with Yaganan right now. He finna get what he looking for. He finna get that.
Get that.
This First Timothy 1 and verse 3. Yes.
Like it, go ahead.
And it says, "As I besought thee to abide still at Ephesus, when I went into Macedonia, that thou mightest charge some that they teach no other doctrines."
That they teach no other doctrine. Okay, so again, that's not in the scriptures, man. All right, Mongoloid, Negroid, and whatever the hell other oid was, you know, Caucasoid, you know, none of that shit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Knowing that does not get you on the chariot. All right, teaching that does not, you know, teach a brother anything. Doesn't help a brother in any type of way. You know.
I got a precept.
Come.
Whenever you finish.
Yeah.
Verse 4, it says, "Neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies, which minister questions rather than godly edifying, which is in faith, so do."
It ministered questions. All right, so that's never ending. All right, you can never get to the point if you go through the Negroids and whatever, you know, other way that this Edomite decide to, you know, explain the different races, you know, according to whatever the fuck they, you know, they teach, you know,
According to science.
according to science.
Right.
Yeah.
Esau's logic is always going to be contrary to the Lord no matter what you do. So if you're coming up, you know, that guy knows what we teach.
Yeah.
He knows that, you know, certain things we teach or whatever. Okay. So him coming up asking that question, he's being a scoffer, man. He has no sincerity on what the truth is. You know what I'm saying? He just wants to try to prove something wrong. Well, the Lord got something for all you scoffers out there, man. That's coming with that same bullshit in the last days.
Okay. Oh no. So like, read that one more time for me.
God. This is 1 Timothy
The last one.
1 and verse 4. It says, "Neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies, which minister questions rather than godly edifying, which is in faith, so do."
You know, those fables again, because we know again that the Lord, you know, teaches about 18 nations. All right, it's not just 3 nations, because he asked. It came out of left field the way that he asked that question, and it ended up being Issachar that he was asking about. Like, where do you even, you know?
Color. He's
Right.
stuck on that color doctrine, right?
Right.
And if we were scattered amongst every nation, all 4 corners of the earth, you think you finna have a black Wesley Snipes? Come on, Jake, get out of that. But see, that's a stumbling block.
Yeah.
But also, the Lord did that purposely, man. Right? You wanted to deal with these things, okay? You're gonna mingle amongst them. Now your own people is gonna look like these other nations, and that angers Jake. That pisses Jake off. That's why he don't want to deal with Issachar.
Right.
Them brothers, man, check the spirit, man. You know?
The Lord said his true character is like a speckled bird. He come in all shades, man. So how can you just come up and say he put that black only doctrine? Clearly, Jake will be everything but Israel.
Right. You got
All right.
your
Bring that precept out for me.
This 1 John 2 and 20. It says, "But ye have an unction from the Holy One, and ye know all things."
You have the unction from the Holy One. You know, we know all things that pertains to salvation, man. All right, and that's the only thing that truly matters. Okay, what the hell does again those 3 Negroids, whatever, that makes no difference. It doesn't change nothing in the world, man.
The skull laws.
All right, that has nothing to do. All right, but we know about again what it takes to get to those chariots, man. We know about being brotherly. All right, we know the name of the Lord. All right, we know what we need to do to get the blood off our hands. All right, making our bodies a living sacrifice. You know, we know all the things that pertains into salvation. Everything else, it doesn't truly matter, man. You know?
Yeah, ultimately, you know, that word unction going into ourselves, right? That special endowment. Okay, Yahweh Shai has given us that endowment upon our spirits, man, for us to discern what's right and what's wrong. Now, I'm overhearing, you know, this guy's conversation. Now, those brothers ain't say nothing about the names, right? The names of the Lord. But he came out with Yahweh and Yeshua, showing you that was a loaded question. But you know, ultimately, you know, if that guy ends up being sincere, if he gets some understanding, you know, kudos to him. But if not, then so be it, man. Like this brother said, that's a stumbling block for our people, man. Okay? All of those different you know, like this brother went into the genealogies and things of that nature. That's a stumbling block, which in the ancient world, when you go into that, the context of that situation, right, a lot of people, the records were lost in that point of time. All right, so you had people who were saying they were of a high class Israelite family, in which they weren't. They couldn't prove it. All right. Oh, I'm my people is you know, how could I say, more royal than yours. We were more close to, you know, Moses, you know, things of that nature. But nevertheless, that's the same shit that got Jake tripped up today, but just in a different fashion, man.
We proving more that we are the Israelites, man. Who else going around trying to claim every other identity but their own, man? Jake, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We're the only ones that again that's lost without it. You know, we don't have that nation. We're the only nation that don't have a seat at that was it the summit? You
Yeah.
know, with all of the other nations of the world. You know, even the different countries in Africa have their different allotted leaders and so on and so forth. But so-called Negroes, the African Americans that's in America, we don't have nobody to defend for us. You know, except for here is the Edomites for the Americans. You know,
Neither do the northern tribes either, man.
Right.
No
Yep.
Issacharites, right? No Reubenites,
Yep.
none of them.
Right. They fall under the voice of America. But I also, you know, want to get y'all brothers precepts too. But I also want to debunk, you know, how to answer this question. You know, what Jake just came up about. You know, going into how we know that there are, you know, only 18 nations and how we follow the genealogies of our fathers of how we know the family. You know, but you brothers can get your precepts first to, you know,
Alright.
whatever we was going into at first.
This is 1 Corinthians 3 and verse 18.
But that's
And it says, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High, for it is written, he taketh the wise in his own craftiness. And as we can see,
Lift up your voice.
and as we can see, you know, when the man came out, he wasn't really talking about nothing. He was talking about the wisdom of this world, all these things that he known, you know, studied and all that, and his belief and all these philosophies, you know, it's all bullshit because you don't really get wisdom in this world. This wisdom in this world is nothing but corruption, you know? Everything that you know is gonna pollute your mind. That's why we have to, you know, put that off and come into the light. Yeah.
This is real quick. This is Hosea 7 and verse 8. It says, Ephraim, he have mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. So our people are all gonna look alike, man. We have these Israelites that believe in this black only doctrine, okay, so on and so forth, man. Our people are gonna look different, man. Like the brother said earlier, a speckled bird, okay? And that's what that guy failed to realize. We're just not gonna look the same, okay? If Ephraim mixed himself among the nations, then that means that over the course of time, he's gonna look like the nations, okay? It's just that simple.
You know, just to edify even more, when it goes to Ephraim, you know, Ephraim is the head of the northern tribe, of the northern kingdom. So it's speaking of the northern kingdom as a whole. You know,
And that's what that guy question was telling me toward. What about the Issacharites, people within the northern kingdom? If they got Negroid features too as well, man, shut up. Nobody want to hear that.
Yeah, but you come with the study, all right, of what it was,
Mongoloid.
whatever the bullshit was, all right. And these studies, this has just come about within a couple hundred years ago. Because I just went and looked it up just to see like what it is, and you actually have a lot of scientists, a lot of, you know, people who actually have the different knowledge of these things, of the biological aspect of things in the bodies and the minds, right, and the skulls and the bones, and they say it's bullshit, man.
Right.
You know, they say that is deeply rooted in, you know, what you call it?
What?
Lost some train of thought. It's rooted, what's the damn word, bro?
Esoteric?
No, it's simple. Critical race. You know,
Right.
yeah, that's what it's rooted in. You know, go ahead.
You know, ultimately it go into these wicked ass, you know, Edomite scientists that
Right.
dissected the skulls, the dead bodies, and looked at the dimples, right, on a so-called Negroid, you know, skull, and said, hey, this is the shape of a Negroid skull, and you know, it's bullshit, brother.
Right.
It's just bullshit. That's all.
Right, made up bullshit.
He in layman's terms, he just categorized, you know, the different nations by the shape of their skull. That's it, which is bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
That's
How
not
you
how the
gonna-
Lord did it.
How you gonna categorize people by the shape of their skull when you literally, when you look at the tribes, all 12 of them have been scattered throughout all the 4 winds, man. So how could that make any sense? That, oh, his skull is this way, this skull is this way. You're not the Most High, you know? Hey,
That's the thing too. Like Jake didn't have nothing to prove. It was the shit that he was saying.
That's what I was going to say. Study to show thyself.
Jake
All right,
had no books.
all right. That shit hold weight. What you know, then prove it.
Prove it.
When we ask them, I'm like, go on over there. Go on, get with more patient, man. I don't want to hear that shit, man. Go on over there. Them brothers will deal with you and cut you up. But you playing, man.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, shit. Yeah, man. Nobody want to hear that, man.
that's the issue, man.
Trying
Everybody
to teach us, man.
Everybody playing, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody playing.
That's Jake's problem.
Yeah.
They playing. Jake too busy playing instead of actually working on themselves, man.
Yeah,
The Lord, the time is not, man.
that's right.
You know?
Should have asked that nigga, what that got to do with Iran?
Yeah.
What's going on right now in the news? How does that affect you? You know?
Yeah.
How could the skulls of the Negroid and Mongoloid help with the gas prices?
Get
I got some.
It's gonna be the Democrats and Republicans. That's the far he gonna be able to go with that.
Yeah, check they skulls,
Right.
nigga.
I know we need to get this
Skull checking crazy.
What you trying to bring out though? To cut what he was
Yeah, we gonna cut it. Y'all brothers keep on, sparking more precepts.
Yeah,
That's the
man.
spirit. That's how the
God,
spirit works.
What he don't have, man.
God.
What he can't fathom to understand, man. You know?
Get that.
Was not King David, he want to go into it, was not his crown the size of a basketball rim? Prove that skull.
Prove
Yeah.
that skull.
You know?
Yeah.
Was he a Negroid? Mongoloid?
Yeah, man.
And his grandmother was a what?
A Moabite.
Yeah, man.
So what you gonna say about that? You know, mix those features together.
Another thing I want to say too is because when angel saw Apostle John, the great multitude, they didn't look like Israelites. It was Israelite foreigners scattered amongst all nations. So of course, they gonna look like different nations of people. I don't know what Jake don't want this car to be a part of the tribe or something, bro.
Like they don't, brother.
Even when you go into the slave ships, man, who was coming off of that, it was fair-skinned people, man.
Yeah.
People that was bright, looked like Esau, but guess what? Esau know who they is.
Yeah.
He'll tell you who they is. That's why they were coming off of them. But they ain't gonna teach you that, man. That scientist is contrary to the scriptures, man.
It's called pseudoscience.
Yeah, man.
It's false. False knowledge, man.
They go to college and go to the military and learn all these things, but they don't understand that this is the only thing we need. Psalm 68 and 11, man. The Lord gave the word, great was those that published it. None shall want her make these scriptures. That means nothing is going to compare to the scriptures, man. You can raise a whole lineage. Just this is what we went by. You know what I'm saying? This is how you become a man. This is how you follow the ways of the Lord, man. This is how you get salvation. Nothing else is going to matter, man. You ain't going to be able to go to the Lord trying to break down skulls to him.
Lord, but this skull was a Mongoloid. Come on, man.
Hey, we just did the lesson, Kalaya. And it all reverted back to Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Was that 12 and 13 or 12 and 12? The conclusion of the whole matter. Like, come on, man. Like the rest of that shit is pointless, man. And that's what, again, brothers was just mentioning Jake playing, man. We ain't got time for that bullshit no more. That's a waste of time. We could. Well, it's edifying now that we're going to edify and give everyone through the Spirit the correct answers of to how to overcome and avoid stupid questions like this. But still, brother, you got that Ecclesiastes?
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, I thought that's what you
Yeah, I get it.
It's like
You can start from the top, too. To tell you something. You know what I'm saying? You can pay it for that shit.
come.
You ain't gonna get verse 1, Bible shot. Then we get that 13.
Ecclesiastes 12.
Yeah, 12 and
This is Ecclesiastes 12:1, and it says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth,
Right, man.
while the evil days come not, nor the year draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun."
Right, man. You know what I'm saying? Take heed, man, to this engrafted word which is able to save your soul, man. All right? Before it's too late. The Lord ain't gonna have no type of concern about you, man, when he cracked them clouds, man. Once you start seeing these nukes, these mushroom clouds, and you start seeing the clouds and shit pull up, man, hey, then you gonna know a prophet has been among you. These same men that you come and scoff and mock, think it's a game. We just some niggas with dresses on. But the whole time, man, we sent from Yahweh Shai, man, to warn you of this evil day before it comes. You know what I'm saying? So why in your youth, right in your years, why this grace period is here, man? Hey, man, appreciate it, man. Actually listen and quiet what's being said, man. Don't come up here with how you feel and how you think. That doesn't matter.
Yeah. Hey, because if I can add to you, brother, what you notice, and we always see this shit, man. You know, a scoffer come up with a question that's never a fucking question.
Right.
It's always it's a lesson. He comes up with a lesson with a lesson disguised as a question. You know, and then goes to teach, and it's just ridiculous, bro. Yeah,
It said in remember the Creator, man. Not remember Esau's knowledge. His science, like the brother was saying earlier, is pseudoscience, which means false science. It's vanity, man. It's meaningless, pointless, worthless, man. For him to even know those things.
Many books right there too.
You got it out.
All right. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. And it says, and further, by these, my son, be admonished. Of making many books, there is no end. And much study is a weariness of the flesh.
It said make admonish. Read that part one more time. Make admonish.
It says, be admonished of making many books, there is no end.
You can stop right there. There is no end. All right, so Jake want to go down that rabbit hole about the Negroids and shit like that. Of course, more and more information is going to pop up because it's nothing. You know, it doesn't have a confirmed foundation. It doesn't have a true answer. So with something that doesn't have a true answer, it's going to be constant rabbit holes of this person was right because he said this, and this person was right because they said this. But it's nothing but
It's nothing but
opinions and guesses. You know, that's all it pretty much is. Everything that the Lord has, information-wise, it's stamped. All right. Everything in the book, in the scriptures, is history. It's something that can be proven. You know,
all that shit is deliberate lies.
Yeah.
All right. It's deliberate to keep you away from the scriptures.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of this pseudoscience.
Right.
All right. When you boil it all down, it's not to make somebody look smart and it's to keep the nation, Salakia, keep the tribes of Israel from their Lord, man. From the truth.
I beg you up real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's Judah 5 and 21 to the brother point, man. You know, keep you from the Creator, man, the source, man, the power source. It says, but if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass, lest their Lord defend. Hold on, Salaki. It's Judah 5.
You close to
here it is. This is Judah 5 and 20. Now therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error against this people, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you true Hebrew Israelites, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. So the error that comes from us, man, is being disconnected, right? So Esau has took crafty counsel, Psalms 83, into figuring out ways to get us from that connection, man, from that power source, man. And this science, all right, going to these colleges, these universities, learning all these different things, traits that has nothing to do with the scriptures, right? Keeps you away, man. Making you feel like you're something, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to destroy a lot of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You know, 2/3, man. You know?
This is Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 13, and it says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
This is the whole duty of man. This is the conclusion. This is King Solomon, the wisest man that ever walked the planet, man. You know, Yahweh Shai and the reincarnation, okay? The wisest man who had everything that you could ever imagine and just gave you the conclusion, okay, of just serving the Lord, all right? Fearing Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, following the law, statutes, commandments. You know, that's pretty much it, man. All right, these other books, where it said even earlier of making many books, it's weary to the flesh. All right, Jacob start to get bugged out if you start digging into these books that you're not even ready for. Okay, like I said, as newborn babes. All right, that was a newborn babe that walked up to brothers that's been in the truth for 4 or 5 years, and like you said, just walked up into to mightier men that's been in the truth 15 years, you know, just to see that.
That man walked up to the oldest man out here.
Con,
Man got damn near 20 years.
con,
That's crazy.
That man walked. Look how the Lord just led him right over there to the oldest man. He's not even born yet.
con.
He ain't even in the truth. He's not even born.
Right.
He's not a babe yet.
Yeah. So
He
that's
done got obliterated.
con.
That's crazy.
Hey, we apply the scriptures, man. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Con.
I mean, this brother said a while back, man. Hey, man, young brothers, man, don't be dealing with all these scoffers, man, that really was going into, damn, I forgot him, the one that liked the little toys up. Saying, dude,
Gorilla Hebrew.
Gorilla Hebrew.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Toy.
Hey,
Yeah.
younger brothers, you said a while back, man. You don't deal with that, man. Hey, let the elders deal with that, man. The apostles and elders. You know what I'm saying? So when they come up somebody, man, want to do all this, you don't need to confuse any other brother that's younger than us. It might be a brother that just came in sitting over here. Man, you go on over there. Deal with more patient, man, more humbler, man, that'll deal with you. You know what I'm saying? And you see, they got them up out of there. You know what I'm saying? So shit, man, at the end of the day, man, this is a well-oiled machine through the spirit of power, y'all bust me outside.
If I can add to your
Yeah.
brother too, and me as myself, and I can probably speak for other brothers as well. Stuff dealing with shit like that,
Yes.
I don't really tune myself into too much. What I get from it is what not to do and what to do as a brother, teaching the word correctly. But to be involved and constantly involved with, some people in Israel, in the nation of Israel, has that problem of being tuned in into that shit being folly, rather entertainment rather than being admonished and
Yeah,
learning
man.
from it. You don't want to be that guy.
Yeah,
And I want to say this too because it ain't that Jake can't deal,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
We didn't, brothers. I didn't fought on side brothers, man. And dealt with scoffers, but sometimes, and especially the times that we in right now, getting so close to the end, we don't really have too much back and forth. We continuing to do our work, show ourselves approved. You feel me? Show ourselves to the Most High, and that's the main goal. Now, if he was trying to learn,
Yeah.
then we edify.
So, yeah.
All right, but as far as battling, the time for battling with a guy talking about the dents in your skull, that's far and beyond over, man.
Yeah.
We don't have time for that. Do you want this word or not?
Yeah.
If not, go head on.
That's it, man.
Let me.
Lord, what I made sense too with that, dog.
No.
Yeah, I made
'Cause
sense.
Other people might not understand. We understand.
Yeah.
I got a quick
My
one.
brother would say something.
I just want to see what the elders say. If a nigga can't get it, we move.
Yeah,
on.
move on.
Move on about
Fuck
it.
it.
You got it, bro.
I just want to land back off them two brothers real quick because, yeah, it is better for, older men to deal with, different things, right? But us as men of the Lord, we always got to be ready to give answers.
Yeah.
In which we, Jake do their job, right?
Mhm.
But like the brother said, when you come in with a loaded question, some sideways shit, hey man, have a nice day, But this First Peter chapter 3 and 15, it says, but sanctify the Lord Yahweh in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear. Have a good conscience, that whereas they speak evil of you as of evildoers, they may be ashamed that falsely accuse your good conversation in Hamashiach, But that's the point, We always ready to give answers, right? But don't, like the brother say, you don't need to be jumping in the way. You got a brother that's 10 years ahead of you, and you just jumping in a way that just, I got it out. You won't do that, man. You got it, bro.
Yeah, man. And like you were saying, man, it's listeners, man. You know what I'm saying? They might be a younger brother. You know what I'm saying? You don't want none of that shit confused, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Get up on out the way, man. You ain't really sincere, man.
Yep.
Because you got to be as newborn babes. You got to really listen, man. A child is attentive. You know what I'm saying? They actually paying attention to what's being said or what you're trying to tell them. We the teachers up there, man.
That's
You know,
right.
we control the narrative of what's being said. Brother, got it.
This is the book of Titus, chapter
Hey,
3.
let him come up a little, cause it's being muffled from behind you. Go ahead.
This is the book of Titus, chapter 3 and verse 9. But avoid foolish questions and genealogy and contentions and strivings about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain.
Foolish questions, all right? That's a foolish question that's unprofitable and vain. You know, it holds no value. Okay? Again, backing up what the brother just mentioned, you know, that question came from left field and it was loaded. Okay? It it had nothing to do with nothing. Okay? But if he would have came up here with a genuine question, hey, what's going on? Why y'all dressed like this? What are y'all teaching? Oh, this and that and the third. Oh, and become edified, this lesson or camp video be going a whole different way, you know. But we get the other end of the result of a loaded question. So now we have to teach you how to deal with a ingenuine, you know, scoffer. Okay. Was that was it on that, right? Them brothers been holding. In the heart, you've been holding for a minute. You get through precepts and then what you gonna wrap around? Yeah.
This is Rock 3 and 23. I'll start at 21. It says, seek not out things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence, for it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. This is the point. It says, be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand. And you said earlier, bro, we know everything we need to know, you know, to get salvation. All right, so all the other bullshit and the scolloids and whatever like that, it don't make no, you know, we don't want to hear that.
Right.
That can't get us nowhere. Right. Verse 24, it says, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion had overthrown their judgment. And that was a perfect example of a evil suspicion of a man being overthrown by it. Talking about the scolloids, bro. That don't got nothing to do with nothing. That can't, like, what purpose does that add to your life, brother? Go ahead, bro.
That's a complete bug out question, you know, because again, you know, as we know that the heart can be deceiving. You know, the heart goes into your mind, your life. Okay. So by being deceiving, you know, Jake not understanding that the Lord can ordain your mind to be completely just lost, bugged out with no solution to it, you know. And that's what again an example of it was. That wasn't a genuine question. All right, so that was a scoffing question from a bug out person, you know. But
You got it? Real quick.
He got another translation.
Oh, come.
You got it? No, I got it. It's Sirach 3 and 24 in the GNT. It says many people have been misled by their own opinions, and their wrong ideas have warped their judgment. Got it.
Their own opinions have warped their judgment. You know, that vain opinion that you have has warped your judgment. Huh?
If I can say this, because I walked up on the latter portion of it, I walked up on him saying he know who he is. Do y'all know who y'all are? Right? And, you know, the physical doesn't justify or, how could I say, validate if you are Israelite or not. It's the spirit, man. All right? So what if they in his world, there are Jakes with mongoloid skulls.
Right.
You see? Whatever other kind of skull, that's Jakes.
Yeah.
They just got that type of fucking skull, man. Like you brothers brought out, they just was in that part of the world that produced them type of skulls.
Yeah.
Like, that shit, he thinking on a carnal sense, man. All right, we thinking in the spiritual. We thinking according to the spirit, man, according to the Bible. That's what's more important, the spirit, man, not the appearance.
My question to that is being like, what if that was answered, then what?
That's why the brother told him. What are you trying to do? The fuck?
Like that's
You trying to teach us or what? Like, what are you trying to do?
That makes no fucking sense.
I got that word real quick.
Yeah,
Let me get
warp,
this.
warp.
I'm gonna read the scripture again. I'm gonna get this word warp.
Yep.
There's Sirach 3 and 24 in the GNT. It says many people have been misled by their own opinions, and their wrong ideas have warped their judgment. And it's the word warped in the online etymology. It says to twist, bend, or distort, to throw away, or to hit with a missile.
Oh my lord.
Hit with a missile.
That's
His-
my new
Lord.
favorite word.
His mind got hit with
His
a missile.
mind got
bruh.
hit with a
Shit.
missile, man.
Lord. My goddamn missile.
He chose.
So he could get hit with the physical
With the
missile.
physical missile.
Lord cold, bro.
He
Yeah,
warped.
crazy. This is warped.
You so warped, guy. That's fucking funny.
I got it.
That's a new shit.
That's a new
That
saying,
bitch
bro.
so cool.
You're
Warp
warped.
core.
That Edomite is warped right there in that golf cart. Warped. That guy in the picture.
I got a
warped.
precept.
Kai,
You still got that precept you was holding for me?
Nah, you wanted that First Corinthians, what is
You
it,
have
4 and
it right
18?
I think so. Read it.
It's the book of First Corinthians 4 and 18, and it reads, "Now some are puffed up as though I would not come to you." Keep going.
I don't think that's it.
What you?
It say I sent forth the apostles last.
Oh,
that's
that's like, I think that's maybe second.
He had it for me, but
Is it?
2 Corinthians chapter 4.
It's either chapter 4, chapter 6.
I got it.
go ahead,
So,
bring it out.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9. For I think that the Most High have sent for us, the apostles last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men.
Now, do you think that guy would have walked into a fucking a seminary school and asked them about the scars? No, he wouldn't stand. He wouldn't wait for a professor to come outside and ask them that. But like I said, we're made a spectacle. You see, just like that dude, that Edomite that was sitting in the car, half dead, gawking at us. Yeah, he was like damn near in a trance. But it said we sent the Lord sent forth the apostles last to what? To debunk all of that bullshit, man. All right, to have answers that the world is looking for. Ultimately, that you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans have been looking for your whole lives, man, for generations. Okay, but that's all I wanted in that. Unless you want to speak on it.
No, you got it.
This is 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 3. It says, talk no more exceeding proudly, let not arrogance come out of your mouth, for Yahweh is a power of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed.
Right. So it said what? It said talk no more exceedingly proud, man. That's what that guy was. He was a proud man. He pulled up, hop out his car. Let me ask y'all a question. He was arrogant, man. The scriptures tell you when you coming forward to the men of the Lord, keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? His question wasn't sincere at all. Right? He's the definition of what a scoffer is. Then he got back in his car, went over to the elders and got tore up, obliterated. Okay? Yeah, and what? And ultimately, if he's really not sincere, he's going to be marked by the Lord. That's why I say the actions are weak, man. Okay? Yeah. I got that all piece.
That was it on that one?
Yeah.
Khan, this is first Slakia, 2 Peter 3 and verse 3. It says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lusts. And that's what that guy was, with within his own desires, learning about science. I'm gonna come up here and outdo these guys by asking this loaded question, right? Try to put them in a lose-lose scenario. Well, you not, man. We sent your ass on your way. Okay, because what you were saying, it makes sense from the beginning. You know?
War,
Yeah, war. Mind hit with a missile. Confusion, man.
Hold on, that's Sirach 20. After you finish.
Yeah, I'm finished. Yeah.
Sirach 22 and 13.
You got it?
When you got your
I want him to get this word right quick.
Go on.
What that was you just read?
See the sign right there.
2 Peter 3.
All right, he about to get on
Yeah,
this word.
Yeah,
You got it in the online etymology?
Yeah,
Go ahead, bring it out.
it's that word scoffer in the online etymology. It says one who expresses derision or mocking scorn. Is it?
Yeah, he just mocking, man. He expressed derision.
He just did that.
All right, and I'm about to grab it in the blue letter right.
I'm getting enough.
It says, I got it. I'm right here. This scoffer, 2 Peter 3:3, right? And it's G1703. When you go down to the Strong's definition, it says a false teacher, man. All right? That's ultimately what it is, a false teacher teaching falsehoods, man. It says when you go into the root word is impezo. G1702, it says to play with, to trifle with, to mock, to delude, to deceive. All right? What he was spewing was deception. That's it. You know, just deception. And ultimately, if you brothers was looking at that through the spirit, hey, the Lord checking to see how sharp brothers are. All right? Why he ain't go over that first? No, he came here. See if brothers are sharp. All right? See if you've been spending your time well. You know? And the Lord will test you like that. Because just how hey, he could make a scoffer come with a lot of false knowledge. All right? That could go over your head, man. But that's why it's important for us to continue to study and show ourselves approved, man. You know?
If I may add, important for the body too. You know what I'm saying? You got different brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? Not have not the same outfit. So, like you said, the Lord will put the scoffer to come up just to you with a question. The Lord knowing you can answer. Are you gonna answer? Have you been studying? You know, for every brother's on certain levels in different spirits, man. You know, some brothers into history, some brothers more into exhortation. You know what I'm saying? The Lord gave you that spirit, that gift. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be able to use it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know, that's how it went in order like that. You start, okay, let's see what these brothers gonna do. Boom, send them over there. It's gonna finish him up. You know what I'm saying? Gonna fillet him up and get him up out of here. He did get marked, man. At the end of the day, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh me outside, for brothers to be saying this and actually speaking the words of the Lord, man, he was marked. He is marked for destruction.
We filleted him and then they fried him.
They fried. That's it.
That's it.
They fried him.
We filleted him and then he got fried over there. Cooked.
I got a precept, brother.
Real quick, back you up. Then you got it, brother. You got it, man.
God, this is Romans 16:17. It says, "Now I beseech you, brother, mark them which."
That's what you got.
That's it. That's what I got.
That's the spirit, God.
It says, "Mark them which cause division and offense, contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them."
Which ye have learned. See, this you supposed to be learning this. You supposed to be studying. You supposed to be into this word, man. You supposed to be meditating on it. Because for times like this, man. So you won't be ashamed. You won't make the truth look bad like we don't know what we talking about. You see what I'm saying? But it says mark. And when you go into that word mark, it actually goes into basically like, matter of fact, brothers will get it. You know what I'm saying? Because that mark, man, is basically going to expose them. That's what it going to. Exposing them, man. Let them know, man, that's who he is, man. He's a scoffer. He mocking the Lord, man. Let him be set for destruction. That's what he is. He went his ass on to the left.
Hey,
You know?
if I could back you up too, it says again, "Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division and offenses contrary to the doctrine, all right, which ye have learned." All right, so all the things that we have learned, you know, it's easy to spot bullshit a mile away, you know, when you're a learned man, you know. If this would have been somebody, you know, who didn't, like brother just mentioned, that hasn't been on this shit, you know, Jake would have just completely got embarrassed out here, you know. But again, it says, an offense contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. All right, kick that man up the road. He went up the road and he got spiritually slaughtered, you know, furthermore by the elder. Okay, but verse 18 says, "For they that are such serve not our Lord Yahushua Hamashiach, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple." All right, come on, man. A simple man would have been deceived. A simple man would have folded in that situation, not being firm in the faith of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right, hearing 3 nations instead of 18. All right, that's a huge difference, and that completely can bug somebody out if you're not, you know, established and rooted in this truth, man. You know, but it says again at the beginning, "For they that are such serve not our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, so therefore you're an enemy." All right, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple. All right, they're trying to feed their own belly. All right, that made him feel good to do that, you know. But not eventually, Salaki, but ultimately, you know, he just got a spiritual ass whooping, you know. But what? You got it.
This that word watch, and that it's G4648. It goes into scopel. It says to look at, observe, contemplate, to mark, to fix one's eyes upon, direct attention to. It says to take aim at, spy.
Yes.
He watching. He all watching.
Right. We see him coming
No
up.
doubt.
We were watching him. All right, let's see what's going on. How he hopped out,
Right.
out of here. Can I ask you guys to put, man, you shouldn't do all that, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey, brothers, you know, every brother got a different spirit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, nah, man, we ain't for that, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't coming to do that, man. We serving the Lord, man. You know, and then you pretty much gotta examine that because you don't want to give him something he ain't, which one of you brothers said the name of the Lord and then come out to him.
Yeah, nah.
Oh,
The brother said it.
Yeah.
They said it to him, but he really knew of being a Hebrew Israelite. That's what I was kind of.
Okay, Khan.
He was saying Yahweh and Yahshua, and they corrected him.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? So scripture will go into, but give not thy pearls to swine. You can't get these heavy hitters or something that you ain't getting the names. You know what I'm saying? You don't believe in your brothers of the nation of Israel. And that, you know what I'm saying? You got too many wrong answers. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for you then, man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, set that mark on them, man. And that's why the scripture say, wicked man flee with no man pursue him. You know? You probably a little old military guy, man. You know how that go, man. You got a little shade cut.
Sitting in his F-250.
But hey, it still, it helped us to edify. You know what I'm saying? Because they got brothers on fire. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get that just to back you up and get that precept that you said.
Oh,
This is just to back this brother up, because really we gave that guy the easy way out. We could have brought up all kinds of precepts and blew him out the water. You know, but this is a
real quick, like you say, you really gave him grace.
Yeah, he gave him grace.
Gave him grace, like just go ahead with that.
Because
You know,
really he was just being disrespectful, man.
Right.
Like the brother said earlier, he would have never went up to them different seminary schools talking about skulls or whatever the hell it is he believed in and debated those guys, man. You know?
You don't know how way to my way yourself. You believe so much of what he preaching. You don't there yourself and preach.
Right, I got a quick precept to back him up just real quick. This is Sirach 28 and verse 12. If thou blow the spark, it shall burn. If thou spit upon it, it shall be quenched. And both of these come out of thy mouth. Right? So, you know, basically, you know, the way we was talking to him, we basically, you know, quenched that fire, so to speak. Right? We basically, you know, gave him an easy way to go. You know what I'm saying? We could have been rough on him, and like the brother said, we could have just light fire to his ass, ignited him. You know what I'm saying? He'd have been on flames going over there. You know, but like I said, we gave him an easy way out in his own way. This is real quick, that precept we wanted. Sirach 22 and verse 13. It says, "Talk not much with a fool, and go not to him that have no understanding. Be aware of him, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt beware of him, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries." Sirach 22 and verse 13. It says, "Talk not much with a fool, and go not to him that have no understanding. Be aware of him, lest thou have trouble."
Again, there it goes. Again, be aware of them. All right. So that's something. Again, us being on the watchtower, that's something that we have to be aware of. All right. It's fools of our nation. 2/3 of our nation that really comes with a goddamn demon on them to try to come and confound the prophets. All right. That's something that's going on. So that's something that you have to be aware of. Okay.
I want to keep reading. I want to say something to that last part.
Yep.
And it says, "And thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. Depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness.
Yeah, I wanted to say this because through this word we are made pure. Okay, you sitting and you fucking around with these guys, listening to that shit, right? They spewing madness. You gonna become defiled too.
Right.
You gonna get. He gonna fuck around and make you believe the stupid shit he believe in.
Right. If you're entertaining it.
Yeah, if you just sitting there in. Now I'm not talking about Jake Dalen, but Jake that's not strong. You just sitting there keeping a fucking ear to this shit, man. That's why the Lord take you through a separation process, like in the early years of the truth, man. Getting you away from these people, sitting you in an isolated spot so he can teach you and build you up. Cause you'll fuck around and go back in the world listening to a nigga like that, man. He gonna start showing you pictures online, showing you fucking, websites to see the skulls and, showing you fucking videos on YouTube of them digging up the skulls and shit. And now you believe in mongoloids and skull lords.
I gotta hear it. Oh, read it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you have one? Oh, you got it.
I got 2 Timothy 4:3, to back you up, because it says, for the time will come when they would not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust, they shall heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. Pretty much backing you up. When that man came, if you take heed to that for so long, he'll end up having you bug out. That's why we got to be so strong in the truth to not take heed to those type of things. And it says, and they should turn away their ears from the truth and should be turned unto fables. But watch thou in all things endure affliction and do work of the evangelist and make full proof of the ministry. Turn away from all those things, taking heed to the truth, building yourself up in the faith, not really going off for these strong drinks, you know what I'm saying, but make full proof of this ministry.
You got to be they turned their ears. You know what I'm saying? So just back to 2/3, you never get enough of getting on them, man. You know what I'm saying? 2/3, man, y'all chose it. Y'all chose these philosophies, these doctrines, man. And that's why it's going to be no cloak for your sin, man. In that day, man, then you should know, Ezekiel 33, a prophet has been among you. You were warned the whole time, man. And then the Lord gonna make sure you remember every time you walk past, you got out the car, you scoffed about everything gonna come back to your mind, man. But it's gonna be too late. It's a thing of being too late, man. And to your point, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, two pieces in the mystery. You know what I'm saying? Rock 9 to 12. Because the brother said, man, you'll fuck around and start believing that shit. We still in the flesh, man. So we gotta be mindful of the things we gotta stay away from. I think it's 2 Corinthians, it says be not unequally yoked, man. Unbelievers, man. But this is Rock 9 and 12. It says delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in. Right, that pleasures him to know these things, to go into all these different philosophies, but we aren't supposed to delight in that. This is the only thing we need to focus on. This engrafted word, man. Right. It says, but remember, they shall not go unpunished until their grave. Right, man. The wicked they gonna be destroyed, man. And we don't need to be worrying about what they got going on and how they living. You know what I'm saying? How they walking and talking, man. The only thing we should be, and that's making full proof for the ministry, man. Showing that we unwavering, man. We ain't gonna listen too much to what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to get no fire to that, man. Make you think we care about what you got going on. If it's not about your how about Yahushua, then you ain't talking about nothing.
That's right.
You can get that in the GNT.
All right, this is Sirach 22 and verse 7 in the GNT. It says, trying to teach a fool is like gluing a broken pot back together, like waking someone out of a deep sleep. Explaining something to a fool is like explaining it to a sleepy person. When you have finished, he'll say, what was that again?
It's pointless. It's ultimately what's going on. All right. If you try to glue a pot back together, that pot will never be the same again. That pot is more fragile than ever. And again, waking somebody out of their sleep, brothers go into, jokingly about with each other. When you wake somebody out of their sleep, you out of your mind.
Yeah.
You don't know what's left, what's right, what's up, what's down. Like me and brother laugh at it, that Mr. Crab meme, when Mr. Crab with the wavy, eyes, and people know what I'm talking about.
That's a perfect saying, because when somebody's trying to talk to you, even while you're falling asleep, you're never going to remember what they say.
Right.
Ever. It's not registering.
Yeah, right.
It's like, did you hear me? Like, no, I didn't hear you. I'm sleeping.
Right.
Hey, if I could say, Salaki, that was an example of a sleepy person, though.
Yeah.
2/3 of our people are in a spirit of slumber, deep slumber.
Get it.
He was one of those
Let
people.
that brother get that.
That's why I didn't register him. He coming up with this. But I ain't gonna say it no more. That bullshit, though.
Yeah.
Because he in a deep slumber.
Hey, and what is sleep synonymous to?
Yeah.
Death. All right. So we just witnessed a zombie. This was a zombie attack that just happened just now. A dead. Come on, man. So he's the walking dead right now without that breath of life in him. That again tried to teach life. How can the dead teach life? Doesn't make sense.
What's a dead man's opinion?
What's a dead man's opinion?
I had that second.
That edit, yeah. Bible shop, you grab that.
I'm just get the point. Unless you want it.
Yeah, get the point.
Yeah.
And then if brothers ain't got nothing, we could get into that account with Yahweh Shai. It's missing.
I believe you're talking about verse 13. Second Ezra 9 and 13.
Yeah.
It says, and therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is and for whom the world is created.
That's the only question that should be asked right now. The inquiries of the elect, of how the elect is going to be saved. What do I need to do to put on as the elect? What do I need to do, to obtain my crown? That salvation. That's it. Plain and simple, man. All right. And as we was going into with the lesson, as a prophet, man, everything that we have to do, is simple. We have to have a simple lifestyle. Everything has to be to a simplicity point, in order to serve the Lord to a maximum. Okay, so that's the questions that we ask of, what can I do to make this better, to make serving the Lord better and making my life without trouble as much as I can, But that was it on that.
You got the precept?
This is the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 7. It says, what then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
God, and the rest were blinded. All right, so that comes with understanding the scriptures, knowing that all of the people of Israel do not have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay, only a certain amount of people are allotted the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that the Lord have gave the faith, of all the things to come, and all the things to happen in the past, that has been prophesied. Okay, but it says again at the end, read at the end again, the rest were blinded.
And it says, but the election had obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Ultimately it's the elect. Okay, the elect, those that are doing the work of the Lord right now, in this grace period that we're in, those are the people that are gonna have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the things pertaining to salvation. These people are gonna have that because why? We're constantly seeking more of it. All right, it's not like brothers just got their fill of wisdom for the day. We're constantly searching in doing the things of old of what they say, wearing the steps of men,
Wearing out the
wearing the
steps.
doorsteps.
You got it.
Kind of. Wait, it's like
See, I was back because what the scripture say, seek ye the Lord while he's near.
why he's there.
You know what I'm saying? You got to
No, this for any brother. This Joshua 1 and 8. It says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. But then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
And that stems from the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. It's going to order thy way right. It's going to set everything where it needs to be. Okay, for you to move and ultimately, receive your crown, man. You know.
He got more than that.
Oh, you got more. Oh, Salaki.
Verse 8, it says, according as it is written,
Mm-hmm.
the Most High had given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day.
So, right there is the opposition of what it says in Matthew of the Lord giving certain people the ears and eyes to hear and see what's going on. The Matthew 13. All right. So now he's telling you these people of Israel who have not obtained that, and they here are blinded and they are deaf to what's going on around them. Okay. Continue.
It says, and David said, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them.
And so the things that these people without understanding or learning are snares to them. Okay, it's becoming a trap to them. So whatever the hell that this nigga came out, and asked us about, that is a snare unto him. All right, that's going to keep him from getting to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, and that's something that the Lord has placed in front of him because he has voided him the eye cells and the hearing to again to understand what the truth in matter of the conclusion of the matter really is.
If I could add to you, because we're going our tables, food. Right? But the food that he is consuming, he not eating of the law. Right? That's why what he's consuming, what he's taking in, the all the philosophies and stuff like that, that's why it's a snut to him. Right? Because it's not life. It's not of the Lord. Right? So ultimately it's just gonna lead to his death.
Yeah. And you gotta understand, if you know the Lord, man, that the Lord is cool with that. All right? He's cool with leading men to their destruction. All right? It's something that you did in your past life, and that's how, that's how your story's supposed to end. All right? But Lord willing, again, that we maintain in this path of understanding, all right, to receive our crowns at the end, You say you got more?
Yeah, one more verse.
You got it.
It says, let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see,
Yep.
and bow down their backs always.
Yeah, it pretty much explains it again, what we just went into. You say you got something?
Yeah, this 2 Corinthians 4:3. It says, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. And you just had made a point. You said something that that sparked it. Something about them being destroyed or something. I don't know. But when you go into this word lost,
Get it.
Like, 2 Corinthians 4:3. Yeah, but clearly the gospel was hid from him.
Yep.
Like, how is it? And that's how you know he got eyes and can't see and ears and cannot hear. Like, because he came up, approached, men who speak in the gospel.
Right.
But he still couldn't perceive it. He still couldn't understand it. But there's a reason for it.
He came to the altar, man.
Yeah.
Just the altar. Through the spirit.
Yep. And we preaching the good news, but go ahead.
That's that word lost in the blue letter. In the Strong's, it says is G622. And it says in the outline of biblical usage, to destroy, to put out of the way entirely, abolish, put an end to ruin.
That's lost?
Yeah.
To destroy. That's what it came out the gate with.
See, it render useless, to kill.
Come on. It's hidden to those that are lost, that are rendered useless. So replace that. Read the scripture again.
Replace the word lost with the definition of it.
Right. Read
again.
What is it? To render useless. What is it? To render useless. Read the precept again.
In 2 Corinthians 4:3, it says, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost.
That are rendered useless. So you're useless. You have no purpose to the Lord. All right. So you're a character in this story that doesn't have a name when the word comes down. The credits. When the credits come down.
Yeah, that remind me of 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, somewhere around I think verse 20 or something like that. I tell you, they were born in vain. All right.
Yeah.
But
I had more.
Count.
It says to declare that one must be put to death. So just backing out up.
one. Read that one more time. Declaring what to put to death.
To declare that
What
one
is that?
must be put to death.
Declare one that must be put to death.
Right here.
And again, it must be put to death. That's the result. That's the end result for 2/3 of our nations. You know, along with the heathen, man. You know, that's the only way that thing, anything and everything will ever be right here on this planet Earth is the destruction, the death to these people that are just completely lost. All right, that doesn't have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Lord. You know, that great reset. All right, we have an example of the Lord already doing the great reset with the floods. All right, but this here is going to be the second death. This second death is going to be flames. It's going to be fire. All right, it's going to come from the ICBM nuclear missiles. You know, starting from this World War III that's really getting, you know, nice, jiggy and groovy. You know, come on, man, and it's escalating like crazy. You know, and that's again the second death is gonna, the Lord is gonna destroy America, you know, and save his elect ultimately. You know,
That's it, man. You know what I'm saying? Because Esau got to be that sacrifice, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You done defiled the land, you done did all this shit, man. Looted the skies, you done looted the ground, chemtrails. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's people, the apple of his eye.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You got to pay for that, man.
Yep.
No, this is something. This number is 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for the blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it, man. Esau, you did this, man. You know what I'm saying? Raped, robbed, and murdered, man. The Lord's people, man. You got to pay for it, man. By your blood, man.
I'm gonna say this too because through the Spirit, 2/3 of our people, all right, they gonna be a part of that sacrifice as well. Cause what did they say? Let your house shine, blood be upon their hands,
Right?
all right, upon their children. That's
And our children.
yeah. So you know they are their children. You know
Right.
through the reincarnation. If you could get it, you know what I'm saying. If the Spirit allowed, you know, Jake on the comic board and shit to get it. But nevertheless, they gonna lay up there and no, I wasn't saying get it like that, but receive it.
Okay.
You know.
That's Jake in a nutshell, though, because Jake be the main one on my kids. Jake say that now, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's Jake, man. Y'all come in that same spirit, man. You know, Jeremiah 11:11, it was said they turned back to the iniquity of their fathers, man. Y'all in that same light, man. That's why the Lord ain't never changed. But y'all can't be saved this time, man. Y'all got to feel that fire, man. So when the Lord, the first Exodus, you know what I'm saying, the Lord brought Jacob out of there, they was ungrateful, man. What you do with an ungrateful child, man? Punish him. You know? You got
Yeah, you guys there 24.
This is Isaiah 24 and verse 4. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The hardy people of the earth do languish.
The hardy people of the earth do languish. All right, and why do the earth mourneth away? All right, it's because of the ruler. All right, this is error to the ruler, Esau, Edom. All right, you know the man that our people, you know, 2/3 of our people are hearkening unto, you know, who set Esau, Edom as their god, who is their power, you know. But continue on.
Verse 5, it says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
This is again speaking of Esau, Edom, man. Read that last part again. That broken
Broken the everlasting covenant.
It's like to go a little bit up more.
They all right. Because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
You know, basically just everything contrary of how the earth is supposed to be treated. All right, it's being completely destroyed. All right, everything that again, the earth was meant to be a paradise, supposed to be an Eden. All right, but again, through the ruler, you know, who basically just destroys everything that he touches. You know, is again being defiled by him. You know, again, Esau Edom.
Right.
You know, I think that was it on that, right?
They got some more, bro.
If we got okay.
spoke more.
Okay. This is verse 6. It says, Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. So yeah, man. You know, because of the things that were said in the previous verses, right? They changed the ordinances, you know, broken the laws, right? Broken the covenant. Okay, the Lord has reserved them unto fire, man. He said in 1 hour he gonna destroy Babylon the Great, man. That's a swift and great destruction. You know.
That's just the Lord having fun with it, man. The Lord can take this place out with it, you know what I'm saying? But he wants y'all to feel it, man. You know what's that in Zechariah or Zephaniah about the eyes consumed and the whole
14:12.
Yeah, the Terminator, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Judgment Day, man. You know, they gonna feel it, man. Your spirit is gonna be staying in that body. You ain't finna die no quick death. You know, naturally, now as of now, you can by so much pain you can just go ahead and give up a ghost. The Lord gonna leave your spirit in there, man. You feel it.
Amos 5 and 18. 5 and 18. Con. Yeshaya, you good, Yeshaya. You good.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 12. It says the same must know it after death by pain.
Man, y'all go up some more
Yeah,
because they
I
gotta
was trying to
realize.
get the point.
Yeah, you go up some more because there's a reason why y'all gonna feel it. So ain't no why, Lord, why me when that day come, man. You know?
20 to 22.
Ain't nobody told me nothing. When was the warning out? Let alone. That's what they gonna try to play that confused state, man. You know? You got
this is 2nd Ezra 9, verse 9. It says, Then shall they be in a pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty. And when you loathe something, basically means to fan the hand or to give like a distinct discare or disdain for it. You put it to the side, right? And that's what people do, you know, week in, week out. They loathe the laws of the Heavenly Father. They loathe the men of the Lord. You see? It says, and when there's yet a place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain.
Must know it, death by pain. Again, that I mentioned earlier, that great reset, man. All right? The only way for you to get this to be right, all right? And it's not going to be on the side. It has to be, you know, through the new bodies, all right? So you have to get expedited to the spirit world, you know, for things to get better here, you know, ultimately, you know. You said you got it, yeah.
113. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1. Hey, read that verse the one you brought out first. I think it was 12.
Yeah, the same death by pain. 2nd Ezra 9 and 12. The same must know.
Salaki. Go back up to
11.
Read it.
What part you trying to get?
Where it
Load the part.
Yeah.
It's 2nd Ezra 9 and 11. And they that have yet liberty, Salaki, and they that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, and when there's a place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. And if I can say it real quick, this is the place of repentance. All right, the altar of the Lord, man.
That's
you
just
know.
something I was about to say. Because this precept that I'm about to bring out is going to back that up. Okay, because you have the different camps, okay, that is set out to warn the people, man, before the destruction.
Get it? Isaiah 19.
This the book of Proverbs. This the book of Proverbs, chapter 1. I'm gonna start at 20. It says, "Wisdom cried without; she uttered her voice in the streets. She cried in the chief places of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city, she uttered her words, saying." Okay, but like you said, that chief place of concourse is us on these highways and byways, man, preaching out the word to tell our people to come back to the Lord, man. It says, "How long these simple ones will ye love simplicity?
Right. How long, if I agree, how long y'all gonna love y'all steak, shrimp, and lobster? How long y'all gonna love these catfish nuggets, man?
Yeah.
How long y'all gonna celebrate Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July, all these holidays that's really a disrespect to you, man?
It is.
You know, how long y'all gonna be simpletons, man? Dumbfounded, retarded, man. You see what I'm saying? This is what's going on, man. This is Proverbs the 1st chapter, man. This is how long you been, the Lord been putting up with you, Jake. You know? You got it, bro.
Yeah, because what you just said earlier, when this time do come, this is when the people gonna be trying to see, oh, I ain't hear that.
Yeah.
When that's not the case, man. You ain't gonna have no excuse. It says in what in Matthew, this gospel should be preached throughout all the earth, then shall the income, man. So ain't nobody gonna be able to say, oh, I ain't hear this.
Hey,
Okay.
real quick. Verse 1, it says the Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. So this is way back when Solomon was in power, man. We talking about thousands of years ago. You know? Go ahead.
Where I'm at. It says, verse 22 again, it says, how long ye simple ones will ye love simplicity, and scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Okay, because as we started off with, when that guy came up, man, what he did, he hated knowledge, man. Okay, that's why he came up with a proud spirit. Okay, he jumped out the truck like he was trying to check something.
Right.
Okay, instead of acquire. It says, turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make my words known unto you. Okay, and this the consequence of not listening, man. It says, because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have said not all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. I will laugh, I will also, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. Okay, so when these things do come to pass that we're preaching about, okay, that's when the Lord gonna laugh at you, man, because you mocking his prophets. Okay, so it's only right for the Lord to laugh at you, man, when you're in the prison. Okay, it says, when your fear cometh as a desolation and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. Then shall they seek me early, but shall not find me. What you got?
Yeah, man. And that's the result of not seeking the Lord first, man. Speak up. Yeah. Of not seeking the Lord first, man. You got it.
This is exactly what he walked up there and what our people have been doing, but it's a consequence. What is it? This is the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 36, verse 15. And the Lord power of the Father sent to them by his messengers, rise up betimes and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. Verse 16 is the point. But they mocked the messengers of the Most High and despised his words and misused the prophets until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people until there was no remedy. And this is what happened, man. What did 2/3 of our people been doing, man? Mocking, scoffing. Bro, they misusing the prophets. Here we trying to explain to him the true way of the scriptures. He just completely ignored everything we saying. These niggas don't know what they talking about. These niggas got dresses on. Y'all know what you're talking about. But it's consequences. You niggas is in trouble, man. For scoffing the prophet. What that song about Future? You niggas in trouble, man. But you niggas in trouble, bro. That's all you got, man.
You got it. Go.
This is Ezekiel 33 and 30. And it says, also, thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, everyone to his brother, saying, come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh from the Lord, Yahweh. You know, as we on the highways and byways, you know what I'm saying, the average Jakes, they make a laughing stock at us. They say, come, let's hear what they have to say. They come, they hear it, and then, you know, they move on about their business. You know, always, you know, mocking and scoffing. And it says, and they come unto thee as a people cometh, they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show it much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. You know, when they come, you know, they probably might say like Shalom, or, you know, they probably might try to, say like, yeah, I'm happy with y'all doing and stuff like that, so on and so forth. But in the end, they don't really care. They say they with the people, but in the end, they owned by their own lust. And it says, and lo, thou art unto them a very lovely song of one that had pleasant voice and could play it well on the instrument, for they hear the words, for they hear thy words, but they do them not. And when this come to pass, Lord will come, they should know that a prophet been among them.
Right. And he said what? He said they hear the words and they do them not. The scriptures tell you, be ye doers of the words, man, and not hearers only. And not only that, it said it was a lovely song, right? The things they saying, it sounds right. You know what I'm saying? It looks good. I get you. I understand what you're saying, but I don't understand. But that disconnection comes from not actually doing, right? Which requires actions.
Yeah, and I wanted to say, when Jake come to listen to this, they only want to take the honey from this. I said they don't want, take the bitterness of the truth of what's about to happen and what they got to give up, the sacrifice. They don't want to hear that. But when you tell them like, look, we came from a righteous nation. We the men of the Lord. When you tell them, look, you gotta, take away from eating pork and all these other different things, they can't do it. They're like, oh man, that sounds beautiful, but like, I gotta quit eating pork. They ask that type of question. They're like, yeah, you gotta stop that. But when it comes into realization, they don't want to do that, man. They always want to be hearers of the words, but not doers of them.
I gotta put this up. This is Isaiah 6 starting at verse 8, and it says, also, I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said I, here am I, send me. Verse 9, and he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Right? And that goes into what, man? The perception of the people being off, man. Right? That word conscious, man. That the things they're perceiving is wayward. All right? And it says, make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, their mind, and convert and be healed. Right? So the Lord has given these people strong delusions, man. Okay, that they should believe a lie. Okay, he doesn't want that man to get the understanding of the scriptures. Okay, and it says, verse 11, it says, then answered I, Lord, how long? So how long are these people gonna be in the state that they're in, man? Okay, how long they gonna be asleep, wandering around in gross darkness? Okay, let's see what it says. It says, and he answered until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate. Right? And that goes into basically until the Lord comes and actually nukes them. Okay? Turns them into a pile of ash. Okay? Meaning they're never going to get it. Okay?
You got that Malachi from the book, sure.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 18, and it reads, then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked.
So like it's not a verse 16. Yeah, go to 16.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 3, starting at verse 16, and it reads, then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord, and them that thought upon his name.
Yep.
Verse 17, and they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not.
So that's how you're going to be able to discern it. All right? Because the Lord, as it mentioned, a verse in 17, he's going to spare them
say, I'm reading it. I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him.
And then read the last part again.
Verse 18. Then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serves the Most High and him that serveth him not.
And that's ultimately, again, the men that's going to be spared by the Lord. All right. So you being spared, the Lord mentioned that He's sparing them as a father would spare his son. All right. But again, being able to discern, who's the righteous and who's not. That's how you're going to know they're going to be close unto the Lord, because the Lord is not going to have them ultimately being destroyed.
Right, and it said that he's making up his jewels. He's
Yep.
bringing these men into perfection.
Yep.
The jewel is something that's precious. A gem is precious,
Yep.
right? So the Lord is making up his men to be precious unto them.
Yep.
Through what? Through repentance and having them come back to his ways, man. He said, these are the men.
Yep.
Okay?
That was it on that. You had another one?
I got another one.
Yeah, you got it.
This is Sirach 39 and verse 24. It says, as his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. Okay, so the understanding of the Lord came to us in a very plain fashion. Okay, we heard the word. We said, okay, this sounds familiar. It sounds right. I could get down to this tune, this beat. Okay, but for other people that hear the word, they, you know what I'm saying, they stumble at it. Okay, all right, they basically go astray, so to speak. All right.
Well, yeah, get that from them, though.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 3. And it says, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. You want to read it again?
Yeah, keep going.
Verse 4, it says, in whom the Most High of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe it not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of the Most High, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them.
Yeah, you can just go stop it, Father.
For we preach not ourselves, but Hamashiach Yahushai, the Lord, and ourselves your servant for Yahushua's sake.
The point, really was in verse 3. But if your gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. All right. So these people are, again, completely just blinded. The Lord has ordained them to be blind to what's going on around them, man. That spirit of slumber. As we brought out in the book of Romans.
Which it
Read reread it again to those three. I just want to make a point.
you got it.
You think, brother?
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3, and it says, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. In whom
No, you got it.
in whom the Most High of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe it not.
Right.
Lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them.
Right. Yeah.
For we preach not ourselves, but Hamashiach Yahushua, the Lord, and ourselves your servant for Yahushua's sake.
Right. So we don't preach ourselves. We don't learn this wisdom, this knowledge to be prideful or to come and just be boastful in people's faces, man. No, man. We do this, man, because it's our obligation. The brother brought out the Ecclesiastes 12:13, man. We doing this for our salvation, man. You know what I'm saying? We teaching you for our salvation, man. What that's Ezekiel 3, all through Ezekiel, man. We're doing this to get the blood off our hands, to make sure our job's fulfilled, so we can get paid, man. We trying to get that spiritual money, man. We trying to get that non-stop bank account. You know what I'm saying? That eternal way to glory, man. The kingdom. We ain't studying none of this about how we look. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, shit, that's the IUIC mind. That's IUSPK mindset, man. To be seen amongst people. Matthew 6 chapter tell you they gonna get their reward. They gonna get it. You gonna get all the fame, notoriety here. But see, when that time come, man, we want that crown of life, man. We want to be beamed up. So we're not doing this for ourselves, man. You know what I'm saying? We're doing this for Yahushua.
Yeah, but at the same time, we is doing for us. We're doing for our salvation. That's true. Say,
Yeah.
It would come out. But we're not doing it for our own glory.
Yeah, we ain't doing it. That's it. That's what I mean.
We're not doing it for our own glory, man. Just trying to glorify ourselves. Because in the end of the day, the Lord don't need us, man.
Exactly.
Like the Lord say, he could raise rocks to preach the word, man. Right. And really, Lord, he could have called anybody. From where we're from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So in the end of the day, man, by us, being a part of this, man, it's a blessing. You know?
Hey, the water for that. Yeah,
You good?
that's
Yeah,
what I
you
meant
good.
by you though.
Yeah.
That's part about it. You know what I'm saying? Cleared up, man. You know what I'm saying? So we serve y'all by y'all shot, man. That's what we doing it for, man. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? We took up our cross and we followed the Lord, man. You know?
I just want to say this to add on to what you're saying. We come in week in and week out on the highways and hedges, right, for the Lord, for
Yeah.
Yahweh Shema Shah. We're risking our lives to for that penny, right? But also to teach all the people that don't know
Right.
and understand. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, in hindsight, yeah, we're coming out for the Lord, but we also coming out for the people too, man.
Right, man.
And for Jake to take the word and just toss it to the side is a complete disrespect, man. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, no, man, you're not worthy to get saved, okay? Because you have men that's putting their lives on the line for the word, and you got guys that's doing nothing and rejecting the word. So what are you gonna get in return, man? Nothing,
Yeah.
right? Destruction.
Anybody got any other precepts?
Yeah, I got some. I just want to bag myself up.
Yeah, go ahead.
This Matthew 16:24. It says, then said Yahweh Shai to his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. You know, also, you know, the Lord that said, any man who loves their wives, you know what I'm saying? You know, you can't love anything more than the Lord. And we have to deny ourselves what we want, how we feel, and how we think. Y'all to follow the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Bagging up, that's what I'm getting into.
What you just brought up?
Matthew 16:24.
It's the same thing
Okay.
in Mark 8. I was gonna ask you to read it again. Read it. Everybody else good? Go to precept. Good. Finish it off with that Mark 8.
This is Mark 8 and verse 34, and it says, and when he had called the people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself.
Right. You know, we putting off what we want. You know what I'm saying? Well, we putting off the worldly things. You know what I'm saying? That carnal things. You know what I'm saying? Because Jake want to live better here. Jake want a better car, maybe a better place to stay. But at the end of the day, we understand the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, what we feel. So yeah, what I was getting into, basically, you know what I'm saying? It ain't about what we want. You know what I'm saying? So it's about the Lord, man. We serve Him. You know what I'm saying? Ecclesiastes 12:13. Our whole duty, our way of life, it's about following after Yahweh outside.
Yeah, I want to say we here to do what we supposed to do, not what we like to do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we're supposed to serve the Lord.
Exactly.
You know, that's what we created to do. So really, we really don't need no reward for this, man. Right. Even though we go get reward according to the scriptures, but at the end of the day, that's our reasonable service.
Right.
You know?
If I can add to you, because what serving the Lord is ultimately, it becomes a way of life. It's your conduct. Following the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai aligns your conduct to be on the most holiest level, separate from anything, you know, here. And that's what the Lord expects us to be. We're expected to be those holy people, that standard, that separate, you know, that separate standard, you know, of what to be, you know, and that's how the Lord operates, you know. That's why it's so big and important of following the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you know. But let's finish it off.
And take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it.
So whosoever shall, you know, you try to make a life for yourself here, and you want the greatest here on this hellhole that we're in, you're going to lose your life ultimately, because the Lord is coming back to destroy, man. He's coming to set a lot of things against each other, you know, to cause more and more destruction. Okay, but it tells you again, if you lose your life for His sake, read that part.
It says, whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel, the same shall save it.
So when you said the first things first, man, all right, if you decide to humble yourself down and be a servant of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that's how you're going to gain that everlasting life. That's how you're going to gain that everlasting want that brothers has been looking for since the beginning of time. You know, that ultimate award that has never been seen, you know. It's just nothing but glory and greatness surrounding, you know, what the Lord has promised for us, you know, if we continue in this path, man. You know. But if that was it, we end it off. So, you know, we pray that this this live camp, this joint camp with Base St. Louis was edifying. Trying to get out here, we're going to give infinite honors and prayers unto
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakwadash.
double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. These salutations to the hopeful elect, Yuakim Yuakwat, with the brothers and sisters in Hebrew that believe in Shalom.
Shalom.
Abba Abba.
Abba Abba.
Abba Abba.
Abba Abba.
Abba Abba.
Abba Abba.
Kwam Yashara.
Kwam Yashara.
Shalom.
Shalom.